Non-musicians, we gotta have a talk, bruh. Because look, it's okay to not know things. Learning is part of the human condition and human experience. But some of y'all just be straight disrespecting us. And because of that, I've been inspired to make this video, Common Misconceptions about Musicians. Now, just a little bit about me. I'm a professional musician who does music full time. By that I mean I don't do anything else except for music related things. And I do it out here in New York City and the surrounding areas because I also travel a lot for music work. I do all types of studio work, weddings. I'm mainly a saxophonist, so all the things that come with that, you name it. So let's get right into it. Number one, and this one hits close to home because as someone who lives in New York City, I run into people all the time and I'm always having small talk and getting to know somebody else because there's just so many people out here. So number one, what we do is a hobby. Now hear me out. There are many musicians who do music just as a hobby. But that doesn't mean all musicians do music as a hobby. Let me tell you one thing that I hear all the time. Whenever I meet somebody at a bar or run into somebody on the train or any type of situation like that, you always get to the point of the conversation. So what do you do for a living? What do you do? You ask somebody and they say, well, I'm an accountant or something like that. Then they ask you and you tell them you're a musician. What is the first thing that you're going to say? Probably as somebody who doesn't know much about what it's like being a musician, you're probably going to say something like, oh, that's a wonderful hobby, or oh, that must be so fun. But it's a little insulting, and I know that you don't mean it that way, but diminishing what we do to a hobby without asking questions. Also, after asking what we do for a living and we say that we're a musician and you say that must be a wonderful hobby, that kind of contradicts your question because if we're doing it for a living, it's not a hobby. I know to some people they probably can't fathom music being a full-time job, which it very much can be, and that's the case for me and a lot of my other peers. And look, if you want more insight of what it's like to be a musician specifically in New York City, I have a series of 17 episodes so far of me documenting what it's like being a professional full-time musician in New York City. As a musician, we provide a service for a specific amount of time, and that service requires work, and we get paid for that work. So because of all those things on the checklist, it can be a job. Me and other people I know are able to pay our bills doing music. I know that's not the case for everybody because truthfully, it is very hard to do the whole music thing. The worst thing that you can do is diminish the type of work we do and assume that it's a hobby or it's just something that we're doing for fun. Man, I wish every gig I did was fun. All right, next. We can play any song that you know. Look, just because I'm a musician, that doesn't mean I know every song. Oh, you're a musician? Name every song. Like I said, I'm a saxophonist. A specific example is I was performing and somebody asked me in this voice, dude, can you play some Kenny Loggins? I didn't grow up with any of that. I don't know any Kenny Loggins stuff. And also, I don't know many saxophonists who play Kenny Loggins. There are a lot of people who make a living playing music, playing a specific type of music. Whether that's somebody who always goes on tour, playing jazz, or whether it's a Latin percussionist playing, touring with that or playing at a club every night. A lot of people play specific types of music. And so, just because they're a musician, that doesn't mean they know some obscure song that only you and your dad listen to in the car on the way to soccer practice. You feel me? A quick pause. This video is sponsored by me. Don't Know Why is my new single set to release May 28th, and it is a collaboration composed by my good friend and wonderful singer Jasmine James, and arranged and orchestrated by yours truly. Many of you know me as a saxophonist, but I've been composing, arranging, and songwriting for many years. And Don't Know Why is a song that helps you get acquainted with my songwriting chops. The pre-save link is in my description, and I hope you're just as excited about this as I am. Alright, back to the video. Next one, and this one makes my blood boil. We're all broke, starving artists. Now hear me out. Being a musician is not easy, and a lot of us have experienced hardship. A lot of us currently experience hardship being a musician. But when somebody tells you they're a musician, don't be over here like, oh man, that starving artist lifestyle, man, I bet that's so much for you. You don't know where they are in their career. A lot of musicians that I know, they do music and they also work a different type of very well-paying job with benefits and so on and so forth. And other musicians I know do music full-time and make a lot of money from it. The starving artist thing, we got to get rid of that because that's not always the case. Because not every musician is an artist. So that's all. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure y'all follow me on my social media and click every single one of those links in the description so I can get somewhere. Peace.